What's going on, guys? You guys are tuning to the Watch Podcast, and today, Big Trouble on WeHo. Let's go.
The gifted hairstylist from West Hollywood, who lists celebrities among his clients, was discovered unconscious on a recent Friday night near a parking lot in the stretch of town known for its pulsating nightlife. 53-year-old Alberto Vasquez had suffered severe head trauma, requiring surgery to remove part of his fractured skull. Family members believed his injuries were the result of gay bashing. Nearly 2 weeks later, the West Hollywood Sheriff's Station has announced that deputies arrested a security guard from Heart nightclub along Santa Monica Boulevard. According to reports, there was some type of disagreement or dispute over identification required to enter the club.
Big Trouble in WeHo. And you guys are like, WeHo? What is that? West Hollywood. Big Trouble in West Hollywood, my friends. A bouncer was arrested April 20th, 2024. That was loud on a Saturday. Now, I'm going to read the news to you guys in verbatim. And then after that, we'll trace back, to, what could have, who, what, when, where, why. Okay. So let's do that. A bouncer at Heart, WeHo, which is, bouncer at West Hollywood, Heart West Hollywood, was detained for an alleged assault that left a prominent celebrity hairstylist, okay? With significant head injuries, according to the LAPD. LA County Sheriff Department. The bouncer at the popular Rainbow District nightclub, which would be West Hollywood, and let me stop you guys there. So, I'm very familiar with West Hollywood. About maybe 10, 11, 12 years ago, I was dating some girl, and she had a friend who was homosexual, gay guy, and she says, "Hey, well, John wants to go to West Hollywood," and I was like, "Well, I mean, I want to go somewhere else. I want to go to North Hollywood." And she's like, "No, well, we'll go do what he wants to do this weekend because we always do what we want to do when he's with us." Which I was like, "Yeah, whatever. It never happens, but sure." So anyway, I pretty much got conned into going to West Hollywood. And I'll be honest with you, I had a lot of fun. I couldn't say there's nothing bad I could say about West Hollywood. I learned a lot of fashion, okay? Because West Hollywood, a lot of gays, and they dress, pretty well, wearing designer stuff. So I learned, some stuff about fashion when I was out there. And I didn't get hit on the whole time I was there. No guy was like, "Hey, Big Daddy, do you want to dance? You want to hang out?" Nobody. Okay, I think they knew. They saw a big old abrasive black looking man looking like a goddamn freaking celebrity executive protection worker. I was looking like I was protecting her from everybody else. So nobody talked to me. No one hit on me. No one, I got hit on my chicks. Okay, so I guess that's okay, right? So that's a bit of a demographic of where West Hollywood is. That's kind of where all the gay nightclubs are. LGBTQ, whatever. I don't like using acronyms. You guys know about me. But they, that's the area, and I just say this, nice people, whatever. And as long as, as long as they understand that I'm, straight male, and I understand their, their lifestyle, it's all good. All Gucci. Anywho, going back into it. So a bouncer denied a 55-year-old man who was identified as Alberto Vasquez, because he did not have a ID. Okay. Now the confrontation escalated. So I'm going to assume that Mr. Vasquez was like, "Hey man, no, I come here all the time, and this is that. I don't look like I'm 21." And the bouncer was like, "Yeah, get the hell out of here." And the bouncer, things start to escalate between the bouncer and the patron. where it left Mr. Vasquez unconscious near a parking lot, and he sustained several head injuries, which requires surgical intervention to remove a portion of his fractured skull. Gosh, man. Mr. Vasquez's relatives suspected that the attack might have been motivated by gay bashing. LA County Sheriff did not confirm that to be the case. But former NSYNC member Lance Bass, you guys know Lance, right? From NSYNC. No, I'm sorry, that's Backstreet Boys. Bye. Okay, yeah, all right, you guys get it. Lance Bass, who was a member of NSYNC. You guys remember NSYNC? I mean, I don't know. I'm old, so NSYNC used to play religiously on TRL, and I hated TRL for like 3 months because they kept playing NSYNC, and then they played it so much that I start to like NSYNC. It's so weird how it happens, right? But he says, "I'm out." After hearing all this noise, I do not want to be a part of this nightclub. I don't want to be a part of this establishment. I'm out. So, the WeHo nightclub is a very, very big nightclub. They have about they have 22.1K followers on their Instagram. Okay. And they are supposed to be the premier gay nightclub in West Hollywood. I don't know what's going on now with all the light that's going on with this particular case, but we'll continue. And so, like I said, Mr. Lance said, "Hey, I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Don't highlight me. I'm not singing here anymore." He's out. And so, but the bouncer was, so I just wanted you guys all know this, that they did not ever, not in one point in time in this case, announce the security guard that was involved in the scuffle. Okay. And there's probably some really good reasoning why he wasn't involved. His name wasn't mentioned. Usually when you guys hear of a case of a suspect, you normally get like a first name, last name basis. And in this case, the name was redacted. They didn't release his name, and I don't think they plan on releasing his name for whatever reason. It is what it is. But the bouncer was charged with battery causing great bodily injury. It's pretty rare for law enforcement to step in on these particular occasions. There's when it comes to nightclubs, they don't normally deal with nightclubs. They tend to stay away from it. But given the trajectory of the incident and the seriousness of it, LA County Sheriff Department stepped in for this one. And luckily, Mr. Vasquez, his condition has been improving. He was in a coma, which is really, really sad, and it's disheartening when you hear that when someone got beat up or punched in the face. But what the news didn't really relay was that not only did he suffer from skull fractures, he also had a black eye. His rib was bruised, and he had scuff marks on his knees and his legs. So, but in the news, in the newspaper, it says he got hit one time. And I've worked in nightclubs. I bounced before, and I can say this is that one punch is not going to land all that type of injury. There's got to be a whole lot more to that story, and I'm just really, really anxious to see how this thing plays out. It's interesting, and I would love to get his sister on the podcast, and so she can share her story. I can obviously raise awareness on bouncers, because I've bounced at nightclubs for about 9, 10 years. Um, in between my regular security jobs, I bounce on the weekends, and being a bouncer, we tend to get away with a lot. Okay, we're very very unregulated. Okay, and people are very very. It's just when someone sees, like, if you go to a nightclub and you see some guy getting thrown out, you're like, huh, that guy must have been really drunk. You know, he's thrown out on his face, and he's like, wow, that guy must have been really drunk. That's how we all view it. It's because it's I guess you could say that it's culturally acceptable. Okay, you guys watch movies, you guys have seen Roadhouse, and you guys see that when patrons act out of the person, they get booted out in any way, form, or fashion. So everyone's like, we're all kind of used to it, If I see a bouncer, if I'm walking up and down the street and I see a bouncer and he manhandles some guy and pepper sprays him on his way out, I'll be like, huh, wow. I wonder what that guy did to deserve that. Right? Uh, and I've always in my life, as I've watched bouncers that I worked with, and just me watching from the inside out, bouncers are always, they tend to carry themselves in a very very unprofessional manner. Okay, and like I said, like I was saying before, it's pretty acceptable to get punched in the face by a bouncer. It's like I said, it's acceptable. They understand it. They said they get it. The person that got punched in the face deserved it. He shouldn't have tested the security guard or the bouncer. Excuse me. And so, when we look at it socially, and it's really really hard to just hold them accountable. So the reason why I'm talking about this story is because it's very, very rare that a bouncer gets arrested because he hurt someone. So that's why I'm covering this story, is because I'm very, very interested and I'm very, very invested into it, because it doesn't happen very often. Okay. And like I was saying, you cannot hold the bouncers accountable for their actions, because many of them, go kind of untraced. They don't. These jobs are under the table jobs most of the time. They get paid cash at the end of the night. No name, no trace, no case, no face, no case, and so they're very, very unregulated. So, a nightclub would say, hey, we need a guy. We need a guy to sit in front of the door. We need a guy to check IDs. We need a guy to make sure that people aren't fighting. We need a guy, a girl, whoever, to sit there and watch over the bar to make sure that they're not verbally being aggressive towards the bartenders because they're not getting their drinks poured out as fast as they want them to. That's what we're there for. And I think that now that we're leaning in towards a new life, now everyone's being regulated for a lot of things now. Cops are being constantly watched. Security guards out there working in the private sector are being constantly watched and constantly under a microscope by these First Amendment auditors, to where now it may start to trickle down to the bouncers sitting in that nightclub. I would love to have my gimbal out and just sit there, with a nice tripod, and sit there about 1:40 in the morning and just watch everyone come out and just see how everyone's reactions are, how they exit out, and see how the bouncers, the security of the club, see how they react towards the patrons that are leaving. Are they being patient with them? Are they Are they saying get the hell out of here? Are they kicking them in the butt to and pushing them on the ground? Are they pepper spraying them? I'm kind of curious to know. You know, I mean, I should know because I've worked in nightclub for a long time. But it's been a minute since I've been in nightclubs, so I wonder what's changed. I guess that's my biggest thing. Is it still the same thing? Still the same people? I know a lot. Every time I go to a nightclub, I say, "Oh man, you're still working here, dude. You're like 40 years old already. Like you haven't found a new life yet." Like I don't get it. Gosh, sorry, not to sit there and throw anybody under the bus or to make anyone feel less than, but I'm like, yo, dude, you're 45 years old, still working in nightclubs, and I've been working with you since you were like in your early 30s. There's got to be some sort of change, some sort of transition here. Either you're a manager, you're walking around in a suit. I don't know. Do something. Look different, but you're still by the door. How do you get? How does that guard get past that door? Damn it! Gosh dang it! How is he becoming a man in the suit? I want to see them. I want to see them excel. Okay, not just always be the door guy. And a lot of times we work nightclubs. We're the gatekeepers. We're the guy. We can make or break your night as a bouncer. Okay, we can make you feel good, or we can make you feel bad. And we control who enters the establishment that we're working. We might see someone we don't like. Personally, outside on the streets. See them coming on in. And then waiting in line with their ID and everything, all excited. And we look at them like, and they don't recognize you because you're in bouncer gear. We're in a black shirt, black tie, whatever. And they look at you, you look at them, you look at their ID, you're like, nah, I don't know, you can't come in, bro. Why not? I don't like you, man. Why? Well, come on, man. Come on. It's not about you. And so you can't argue with the bouncer because they say, can't come in. Can't come in, you can't come in. That's it. There's no way around it. And they always say, well, can I talk to the manager, the owner? The owner the guy Chris. He's the owner, right? Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm known to him. And that's how it is with working nightclubs. They always say, "Oh, I know somebody." Everyone knows somebody in the night working nightclubs. God, so annoying. And many people that frequent that particular nightclub tend to have favoritism with the bouncer working the door. So they're always gonna be extra nice. Going to be a little more warm, comforting towards the bouncer because obviously that bouncer is going to depict their night. So if the bouncer says, you know what, I don't want to see you tonight. Can't come in. Sorry. You got to wait in line like everybody else. Then either they wait in line or they go somewhere else. Kind of how it works. Unfortunately. It sucks, right? So when I look at this case, it's very interesting because of what it is. Now, they're calling to say that it is a gay basher. This guy with the security guard was gay bashing. And then if the security guard was gay bashing this man, then my question for the nightclub is, what security company are they hiring? And does that security company know that they are providing security for a gay nightclub? And if it bothers them or the people that they're deploying out there, if they say, you know what, hey, if you don't like gay people, don't come out here, don't work. That should be a big thing. If you can't work in a particular social group, then you don't need to be there. So do I say that this guy gay bashed? No, I do not. As a bouncer, we have problems. We drink on the job. A lot of times. When I used to bounce, and this is going to be a very, very big secret. Maybe not. Maybe it's not a secret. Maybe everybody already knew already. But when I used to bounce, I was drunk every night that I bounced. I was intoxicated every time that I bounced. And when I wasn't intoxicated, I was a better person. But I felt like in this sense that I need to be on their level, right? I gotta be on their level. I gotta be with them. If they're here, I gotta meet them in the middle. I can't be. They can't be over here partying here all excited, and I'm over here right here. No. I gotta be right here. I gotta be right there in the middle. That's how I felt when I worked in bars and nightclubs. Wanted to be a part of it. So when I think about this guard, and sometimes when we're drinking, we have short fuses. So I can depict this as a bouncer, as a previous bouncer, because I've dealt with people like this before that didn't have their IDs. So what I say to people that work in bars and nightclubs and the night establishment, the guy was 53. Mr. Vasquez was 55 years old. As a bouncer, if you bounce long enough, you can tell 21, under 21, are 50 freaking 5. So that's why they're calling for gay bashing. It's because the guy was 55. Why are you going to sit there and ask for the guy's ID or hound it from them? Sometimes I tell you guys this, and I'll say it again, that security is an act of service. Bouncing is an act of service. Sometimes people will not have their ID. Okay? And my question to you guys is, use your best judgment. If the guy looks like he's over 21, which clearly he did, he looked over 21, I say, hey, you know what, man? Listen, I understand that you don't have your ID, but the next time you come in, listen to me, and they're going to keep talking because he's probably already drunk already. I'm going to say, listen to me. The next time you come in with no ID, I'm not going to allow you to come inside. Today's your pass. And the guy walks in, and he dances the night away. He has a great night. But this bouncer decided that he's like, you know what? Sorry, can't come in. And there's there's always two sides to a story. Okay, I get that. I understand it. I worked security nightclubs for a long time. There's always two sides to a story. And you guys want to know my opinion? My opinion was that the bouncer was intoxicated. The person that came was intoxicated and was being very, very pushy. Probably in the security guard's face. Probably saying, "Hey, you're just a dumb security guard. This is that." The security guard got upset, felt a little offended, felt some type of way, and started wailing on this poor celebrity hairstylist. Now, I know the news wants to depict this as this guy's celebrity guy, celebrity hairstylist, but as bouncers, we don't know who comes in the club. You can be the attorney, you can be the mayor, you can be the freaking president. We're still going to treat you the same, okay? I don't care who the hell you are. Okay, bouncer, celebrity, whatever, whoever you are, TikToker, YouTuber, you're still going to be a person that's coming into a nightclub where I have to check your ID and I have to pat you down, okay? You don't have an ID, you're nobody, okay? You're no face. You're a person I have to look at to see to make that decision. Is this person 21 or do they look a little bit younger? So, as a bouncer at a door, yeah, we have to make those decisions. So, did the security guard, did he make a right decision? Could he have let the patron come in? I don't know. The patron could have been, very drunk. And when you're drunk, your blood thins, and when you get punched in the face, as when you're intoxicated, it'll hit you a lot harder than it would if you were sober. I'm not here to make anybody out to be anything that they're not. I'm not here to make anyone feel like a criminal here. I'm just playing. I'm just kind of the guy in the middle that's trying to make sense of all of it, just like everybody else is. Okay. Now the guy has no name. There's no there the LA County Sheriff Department doesn't want to give anyone their name. This guy's name, so it doesn't matter. They don't want to say who the security company he works for. And the question is, the big question would be, does the guy work for the club, the nightclub establishment, or does he work for a security company? Now, if he works for a security company, which I'm going to assume that he worked for, okay, I'm going to assume this. Okay, I hate to assume, but I'm going to assume this, that this security guard worked for a security company, and one of the guys that's normally there at the door was not there that night that he was supposed to be there. So they had some guy that doesn't normally work there that night, and he treats people a little differently. Okay, I'm just a guy playing devil's advocate here. I'm trying to make sense of it all. Okay. I am security. I am a bouncer. I was a bouncer, and so there, when it comes to experience and when it comes to what I think could have happened, what happened, or what led up to it. I mean, a lot. I would say a lot of my facts would be probably very, very consistent, but I won't know until I hear the full story. Okay, I'm only getting half truths. I'm getting barely the side of the security guard, but I'm getting all the side of Mr. Vasquez. So. Mr. Vasquez, I really, really am praying for a speedy recovery for you. I'm praying for your family that's gone out there, that retained an attorney. I think it's great. I'm great that the family stepped in and said, you know what, this is not okay. And I'm not saying this because, I'm saying this because as a security officer, as a security company owner, we have to be held accountable for our wrongdoings, okay? If we are doing something wrong or we acted out of the scope of our job because of pride or however we felt, then we need to be held accountable for it. That is my only suggestion for this whole incident, is that the security guard is being held accountable for his actions. So, if he acted out of the scope of his job, then he needs to pay for it. But if he was acting in the scope of his job and the guy was being a complete tyrant and he was in his face or he was spitting on him or threatening him, do I still think that punching him in the face was a great deal? Absolutely not. You guys know how I feel about punching people in their face. If you do not know any type of tactical holds working private security, then you need to learn it or find a new job or find a new career to get into. Okay? My best suggestion for all you knuckleheads out there that want to rather punch somebody instead of putting him in a tactical hold, I would say get into a jiu-jitsu training course, class, academy. Jiu-jitsu has completely saved my life on a whole lot of things. I love punching. I love getting in street fights. But if I'm wearing a uniform, I got to make sure that I'm not being to the point where I'm looking overly aggressive. I know that whoever I'm brawling with or scrawling with, I am going to hurt them bad. One, I'm a professional fighter. Two, I'm trained, and I've been doing this job for a long time. So I think for me, it would be effective if I use different types of hold techniques as I'm escorting someone out of a venue or a nightclub or establishment, anywhere, or I'm evicting them off a property. Using simple tactical holds to gain control of a situation can change a whole lot of things. Had I been at that front door while that Mr. Vasquez was trying to get inside with the ID, I would look at him and I'd say, what's your date of birth? The guy's gave me his date of birth. And I would say, all right, in the future, listen, this is my one and only final warning. The next time you come here, you have no ID, I'm not going to allow you to come inside. Do you understand me? Yes. Okay. I want you to have an amazing night. I'm going to pat you down. And next time I see you, you're gonna have your ID, right? Yes, I'm gonna have my ID. Great. Now, if he was already intoxicated and the bouncer saw that, then that's questionable. You know, a lot of times we're around a bunch of drunk people all night, and we get people that bar hop all night, and so we have to make that good, clear judgment. Is this person okay enough to come inside of my establishment that I'm providing security services for, or is this person going to be a liability where I have to eventually kick him out because someone's fighting him, or he's fighting someone, or he is doing things that he shouldn't be doing? That's the time we have to make a decision on how we handle things. So I just wanted to share some light because it's very, very important. And I wanted everybody to see my perspective as a bouncer of 11 years. And no, that's true. 11 years. Oh shoot. Wow. I think it might've been 11 years. Yeah. So I want people to see my perspective of a bouncer of 11 years and how we treat things, and how we handle things, and how sometimes we are unregulated. Okay. When we throw somebody outside of a nightclub, it's just like, Roadhouse. Roadhouse. That's how people see us. That's who we are. You know, Roadhouse. So no one questions it. No one says, hey, that's not okay. I have a scar under my eye right here from a stiletto. Okay. A stiletto. Okay. You guys, if you're a woman, or you have a wife or your girlfriend and she wears stilettos, I want you guys to take the stilettos from her closet, wherever she's at, and I want you to put your finger on it and see how sharp they are. Okay? They are sharp. I got involved in a physical altercation with someone, and I was drunk, and I'm not gonna lie about. I was drunk, and I think I treated the situation a little bit more than I should have. But regardless, I was getting ready to kick a guy out because the guy and the girl were fighting and arguing. And as I'm kicking the guy out, the girl's behind me and she's slapping me. She's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the guy punches me, so I punch him back. Okay? That is on occasions, if you punch me, I will punch you back. Okay? I'll match your energy. I'm going to match your energy, okay? So don't play. You punch me, punch you back. All right? You start wailing like this, then I'm just going to just use my hand holds, my hand techniques, and I'm going to escort you out, okay? But the second you throw a punch, I'm throwing it back. Just kidding. But there's an occasion where these people were going through domestic disturbance, and I went to intervene, which is terrible. Anyway, so I kick the guy out. The guy starts getting squirmy. We start arguing, and I'm struggling to get him down. I have to walk him down like 2 flights of stairs. I fall down. The guy ends up on top of me, starts punching me, so I start punching back, and I see a weird black object just go across my face, like. Whoosh. I was like, "Whoa, what the hell's that?" I'm still focusing myself on this guy to make sure that he's not grabbing. I think I didn't have a gun, but I was carrying like pepper spray and a baton. And I wanted to make sure that he wasn't grabbing my stuff, So I was, very cautious of, what was going on. And so then after he gets off, I get a thump on my freaking under my eye. I'm glad it wasn't Hey guys, it doesn't really matter what my opinion is. It's more so on what you guys think. Okay, I've worked nightclubs for the last 11 years, and so I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Okay. I know that at times when we as a security guard, as security officer, we tend to become pretty aggressive. A lot of times, a lot of the guards that I've worked with in the past, and including myself, have been intoxicated. So obviously, when we're intoxicated, we're going to treat things a lot more aggressively and a lot more differently than how we would if we were sober. So, this is just me weighing in on this incident. Because, like I said, I've worked at bars and clubs, nightclubs for about the last 11 years. No one's provided any answers for these for the people that have questions. And as a person that's been in the industry for a long time, I can say this is that there's a million and one things that could have happened. Well, not a million and one things, but there's a few things that could have happened. One, is that the bouncer was intoxicated and treated the incident, very, very poorly, or two, Mr. Vasquez was the victim was aggressive towards the security guard and may have made advances towards him physically, where the security guard felt some type of way. So that's one thing to look out of it. But like I said, when I say this in all fairness, is that sometimes that we have to be, and I say this all the time, we have to meet people in the middle. Okay. We can't sit there and fight with everybody and argue with them. In nightclubs, there's some wiggle room. There's always wiggle room for everything. Okay. See some guy that says, "Hey, I have my ID." Just ask them for their date of birth. What's your date of birth? My date of birth is 1977. Okay, great. He's way older than 21. Let the guy in. Gosh dang it. So like I said, the problem with private security is that sometimes they're too literal. So if this guy's new, or he's never done this, he hasn't done this before, or he's done it for just a few months, he's gonna be one of those security guards that are very literal and have no wiggle room. Okay, they go based off whatever their boss tells them and says, "Hey, if they don't have ID, you can't let them in." Okay, but as you advance and you gain more experience, then you can say, "You know what? This guy definitely looks like he's 55 years old. I'm gonna let him in, but I'm gonna give him a warning." So what I would have done in this instance, okay, before I let you guys all go, was I would have told him, "Listen, Mr. Vasquez, next time you come here with no ID, I'm not going to let you in. Today is your free pass, okay? Next time, it's not going to be, it's going to be different. I will not let you in next time. And I promise you, by the next time, he's going to have his ID, and it's going to be a good experience." So what did I do for him? I let the guy slide. He had a great night. He hung out with his friends, and he went and danced the night away. Okay, down Sunset Boulevard. Okay, with all his buddies. Okay, so just be kind to people, regardless of whatever the status is, gay, black, white, Mexican, Asian. Just be kind. It's important, especially when you're working in these particular demographics where you're dealing with more so the gay and homosexual community. So, guys, I want you guys to love each other, love God. Let's go change the world!
Been watching you, watching me.